Hello, everybody. Lee McCracken Jr., aka Zorval Chan Less Than Guru. This is just a short intro. I normally don't do intros to my playthroughs, but I wanted to explain a couple things. First, is somewhere in the video there is a moment that the camera stopped recording, so there is a small gap. I believe it was only a couple minutes before I noticed. Basically, I hit a button, it shifted things on the screen. I shifted them back. I didn't realize that the recording stopped as well for a few minutes. So hopefully, it wasn't too long. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that clicking noise while I was doing a compilation of uh, the previous recording like this that I recorded, and then the two playthroughs. And I was listening. I heard that clicking noise again, that snap, whatever. It's a really loud, crazy sound. Um, I'm adjusting things to see if I can get that out of this. If it's within the video, because I just heard it within the like, here's Mars Video Cat. Um, this is the second time I'm doing this intro. The first time I heard it, I'm trying to do another one to see if I fixed the problem. I thought I had fixed it. Apparently I didn't. So hopefully I'll put a warning if if there's no warning below, then that means I didn't hear any clicking when I did a listen through. If there is a warning, then just be aware that if you wear earbuds or headphones, it might hurt your ears. Um, so I'm sorry about that. I have no idea. I went months without any problems, and then this happens, and it didn't matter which microphone I used. That noise was still there. So I think it's the recording software I have. If nothing else, I might have to uninstall it and reinstall it and see if that works. But that's the second thing. Third thing I want to say is this is Palladium First Edition. It's a very old school game. They have while Palladium does have very ambiguous and vague rules in some areas, there's other things that are pretty clear cut, like you are only in your OCC, your occupational character class. If you want to switch to another one, you have to go 2 to 3 levels of experience where you're not gaining experience for your old class. You kind of stop doing that. You start learning another one, and it takes 2 to 3 levels uh, to become level one in that other class. And you can do that as many times as you want, but each time it's 2 or 3 levels. Why I say 2 or 3 is if it's anything except for like a magic class, uh, magic, uh, divine, psionics type thing, it's 2 levels. If it's a mystical class, then it's 3 levels. So that is, you have to do levels. But there is other things that even in the Palladium books, source books, and that they have options and weird stuff that can happen to characters that the player doesn't just like, I want to do that and be that. It's something that might have been lost for many years, many thousands of years, many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. And I am bringing that into my Nentir Vale because the Nentir Vale is a points of light. So I want there to be a lot of exploration, figuring things out, uncovering runes and dungeons and things like that. So there might be things that occur, and I told my players that before the recording started, that there could be interesting things that happen to their characters, or there might be opportunities presented to their characters that they may or may not know about, that I'm kind of maybe giving a few points of experience to another class. Maybe I'll do a multi-class, but the player won't realize it until it's suddenly, hey, you're not just a this, but you're a this too, because you've been expressing interest in this. You've been reading stuff like this. You've been getting really into it. An example would say be a magic user that is figuring out other things, and he's not telling me I want to be a diabolist, and it's not his choice to go, okay, I'm doing this and adding, I'm going to go a wizard to this level and then I'm going to switch over to be a diabolist. It's just maybe I'll let him learn a few wards or a few circles or something like that. Why not? It adds interest and depth. It makes that character kind of unique from other characters and stuff like that. So I might do things like that. There might be items that are unique. Um, there might be things that get presented. Two quick things that I've done in past games. One was actually a D&D 4th edition, which was I had there was a portal in one of the modules that a thing was coming out of the Shadowfell. I had tentacles and it wrapped around one of the character's arms that was going to pull him into to the portal, and another character cut his arm off. Now there is absolutely no rule in D&D 4th edition that talks about cutting off arms or anything like that, or hands. I just did it. I thought it sounded interesting. The other character was like, I want to hit it, and hit the tentacle, and it didn't do damage to the tentacle. And he's like, okay, there's a hand. Can I do that? You can try. Boom, cut off the hand. What do we do now? There's no rules for this. Well, previously, they had actually fought a hobgoblin warlord who had I said he had a bronze hand. I think the original had iron tooth, and I didn't like that, so I gave him a bronze fist. They called him bronze fist, or bronze hand called bronze fist. They went and got that corpse back and took that hand and put it on his hand, gave him a magic hand, and I gave him some special powers as he leveled up. I just thought it was interesting. I do stuff like that. In another Palladium book that I did many, many decades ago, in the first Palladium campaign that I ran, one of the characters was a wolfen priest of Set, and they stumbled across a circle, and the priest of Set just decided he wanted to step into the circle and see what happened. Just did it. Wasn't forced to do it, didn't get kicked into doing it. He was just curious, and he did it. It was basically a change circle, and it changed him to a human male. So I had him re-roll all of his physical attributes, and he was no longer a wolfen, he was a human. So stuff like that happens. I just presented that to my party, that things different from just in the book that you can do. You can still change your OCC as it is in the book. You can still do stuff in the book or in my supplement, because I have a lot of house rules. But you might have something that it shows up that's not in the book. It's just stuff I'm adding for flavor, and it could be good, it could be bad, it could be a mixture of both. Like that character had to go through an adventure or session or two before he got that hand again. He had to travel and do stuff like that. So there's stuff like that. I just wanted to say, if you see anything in the playthrough, a lot of it I plan way ahead of time. Sometimes I just plan on the spur of the moment because I'm like, this will be something interesting. Also, you might think that I wasn't fair because my party was coming up with lots and lots of cool ideas. And yes, they were cool ideas, but they spent too much time in all the previous sessions to get there. Yes, I know they were doing it because they had to heal and stuff like that, but I can't have my enemies be stupid and fall for stuff that they shouldn't fall for. There is no check in my mind that would allow them to disguise themselves as a party and walk in when the bad guys kind of know at least who they are, and know that, or at least know some group is out there killing them. They've taken out 2 or 3 patrols, one patrol that was set up specifically for an area, which was the previous session that they took out. Even if even if there's no survivors to go back and tell the bad guys what happened, the bad guys know something has happened, so the bad guy recalled everybody. So if you're one of my players and watching this, I kind of said it really fast, but that's why. You'll probably learn some secrets and stuff from watching this, but if you're going to spend 3 hours to watch and get a few meta secrets from the game of what some characters are doing, not necessarily behind each other's back sneakily, but just because I don't want this to be a transparent game. Torg Eternity is a transparent game. If you watch my Blood on the Blasted Lands, it's transparent. This I do not want to be transparent. I think transparency has a purpose. I tend not to like it as much, but I like when it's not just I know the math and I can figure out everything, where there is things that are unknown. And even between characters, I don't necessarily like it when characters know what everybody else can do, because then sometimes you have more dominant players telling less, I don't want to say submissive, because that's bad, but you have more forceful personalities with the more shy people, or the more not very confident players, and they try to get people to do things that they want them to do instead of letting that person play. So basically, don't tell other people your hit points unless you really want to. You don't have to say what your OCC is. I mean, the paladin would go, I'm a paladin, but the thief isn't going to go, I'm a thief. it's going to be I'm a beggar, I'm a peasant, I'm a street urchin, I'm a this, I'm a that. So just things like that happen, and that's the way I want to present it. And people are getting in character, and it seems to be played fun for all, and that is the purpose. And so I will let you go ahead and see that. Hopefully, there isn't the noise. It might have been just a weird thing where my phone beeps and it's picking it up too loud or something. I'm not sure. Hopefully, figure it out in some way, shape, or form. But I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you tomorrow for my bi-weekly. I missed one because of all this crackling, crack noise, snap noise, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully, I'll have something out tomorrow toward Tuesday, and then Blood on the Last Line Wednesday. So until next time, hope you enjoy this video, and I will catch you later. And we are recording. So your last session ended with you deciding to try going over the tall hills and crags of the area instead of going down the trail or trying to go through area of that Bodil had been told was a haunted forest. So you had fought some more. It was a band that was comprised of kobolds and ogres and orcs, I believe all three, and they almost killed Cassius, or they did actually, I believe, kill Cassius. He was brought back at the last second,
And
and
Sir Emery and I are both wounded.
yes, and then you kind of moved off to the side to tend to some wounds and heal for another night. So you wake up in the morning, and it is currently the August 26th.
As I mentioned to the group before we camped, that since this last party that we fought only really had weapons and not much else on them, I think we're probably pretty close to their campsite.
The current date was August 26th.
Yes.
Well, how close to the keep do we think we are? Is it possible this is a patrol that's just out from the keep?
Lehman, did it look like a patrol or did it look like they were camping here?
It looked well. They didn't have any money or any supplies, any food or anything like that at all. And you know that it would have taken a little bit longer if you would have went down the trail. Basically, a dwarven holt would be built into the hill. It's like I mean, they're not small hills by any means. They're pretty. They can get pretty steep in that, and it would be built into it. So if you're going across the hills and not around it, following the roads, then you could have gotten there a little bit faster than you would have in any other direction.
Did we camp overnight and get some wounds healed, or is this directly after the fight that we're at right now?
I said that you had spent the night, and I was getting ready to say about healing, and then people started asking questions, so I have not got that yet.
Okay.
And there's something that I'm trying to do also there.
Mr. Nicholas, sir,
Yes.
could you show me how you do healing? Could I watch you? I'm
yeah.
interested in learning it so that we have maybe a backup to you, especially if you get injured.
That's fine. Whenever I go through changing bandages and things like that, I show you how I do it.
All right.
Mine is the out of character, the medicine skill. I don't know if that's one of the skills you guys can. I don't know if that's a starting skill only or.
It's a skill I can get,
Okay.
and I'm planning on getting it the next time I get skills.
Okay. Yeah. No, I have no issue showing you. Right now, it's mostly changing bandages and treating the wounds to make sure there's no infection.
Okay.
Don't forget sewing.
Well, he asked after all the sewing was done. We'll have to. One of our kind fighters will have to take another injury for me to show you how to sew.
And don't forget, you can also burn them clothes.
Oh yes, there's always cauterization. If it's fast and dirty and we need to go.
Right. Above board, I can pick up medical when I, get my next skills, and I figured it'd be good if somebody else had it in case you get injured or something like that.
Okay.
So we're ready to wake up and let Lehman heal you?
And the other thing is at any time, if any characters, when, if you level, the amount of hit points that you gain, those are both to your current and your max. So you don't have to heal those. You automatically get that amount of hit points.
Okay.
So when you wake up, Francis has healed 2 hit points. Cassius has healed 6 hit points. And Sir Emery has healed 15 hit points.
Wow.
Everybody, I think that I might be able to send messages by mind. And I would like to try it with each of you so that, for instance, if I'm with Bodil scouting ahead and I see something, I don't have to yell or hurry back, but I can send you a message from my mind. But I'd like to practice it with everybody so that it's not a surprise to you when I do so. If that's
Why
not
don't you
okay.
pick a target to pass the message on to?
What's that?
Why don't you pick a preferred target to pass the message on to? I don't know that it's a good idea for all of us to be vulnerable to invasion of the mind.
If you don't want me to do it, I won't do it to you.
No, I'm not
Well-
just saying me. I'm saying if you have a target or two, it's safer for the whole party than if everybody just accepts any kind of mind invasion. Because you're not the only one that can do mind invasion.
Yeah, if our enemies can do that, I mean, we wouldn't want to let our guard down. So it would be whether or not you can just see if you're strong enough to overcome our natural resistance. Is that what you want to know?
No, for instance, if I'm scouting ahead and we encounter something and I want to let the party, back behind us know, I don't want whoever I send it to be totally shocked, surprised, whatever, when I do it.
Right. No, I understand the purpose of it, but like we just heard that there's possibly a haunted lake. So we're just saying that we wouldn't want to make that easier to happen because we wouldn't know if it was you doing it or some specter from the beyond.
I understand.
I mean, you're welcome to try. I'm just wanted to let you know.
Right.
Or, like you said, if we designate somebody for you to communicate with, then it lessens the odds that the whole party is vulnerable.
Well, who would want to volunteer?
Well, if you're scouting ahead with Bodil, isn't our natural leader then back at this portion? That would be Sir Emery, would it not?
Wait, what? Did somebody say my name?
Yes, Sir Emery. We were just saying how if Bodil and Francis were ahead scouting, then obviously you would be the natural choice of the leader of the rear guard, right?
Well, right, of course. I mean, that
So-
seems reasonable.
So if Francis wanted to send a mental message to you, you would be the natural target for her to choose.
Are you willing, Sir Emery?
Well, if you think you can get a message into this steel trap I have up here, I am a man of great will.
So.
Yes, I'm sure your thick skull will be difficult to penetrate, Sir Emery.
Lehman, I'm gonna
Yes.
try and send Sir Emery a brief message. So send a simple message, basically just, can you understand this, Sir Emery? Or are you getting this?
Hold on, so read the thingy here. Any non-psionic enemy of 10 or greater as well. All right. So I believe I have half of what's necessary to get a saving throw.
Okay.
Oh.
So you
Oh,
hear that in
whoa.
your mind.
That's a fascinating trick. How did you do it? And to get past my great will.
I'm not sure how I do it. I don't quite understand it myself.
Pardon me.
You must be powerful indeed.
A lot of pollen in your forest today.
So, how are we doing health-wise after a rest, guys? Are you healthy enough to move on, or do we need more time recuperating?
Oh. In my opinion, moving on is probably safer than sticking around, no matter our condition, as long as we can walk.
I feel fine.
I'm mostly healed up.
Yes, we need to keep moving for our mission.
I feel right as rain. Oh yeah, Cassius.
Has anyone seen my spleen? I seem to have misplaced it.
Yes, it's over there by the trench.
So before Francis did that power, Everybody who does any type of magic would have gained 20 magic points or ISP back, depending. And then after that, then Francis, you used some ISP for that test.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is anybody taking any of the, is that orc axes? Or are we dumping those in the trench?
I do not need one.
Okay.
I have my trusty rusty staff.
Don't know that I could carry one.
Well, I'm not worried about carrying it. We're close enough to our objective that we don't come back here later and pick it up as loot. But just to know if anyone wanted to use one.
Yeah, those things are a little bit beyond my ability. I think one of those probably weighs almost as much as I do.
We have 3 potions of kobold healing on our kobold, and we have 3 extras. So who would like to carry one in case someone needs to go up and try and save the kobold's life again?
I'll carry one.
Okay. Well, that will leave me with 2.
Okay.
Well, we are now quite close to the enemy, are we not?
We hope we are.
Perhaps Cassius would submit to a piggyback ride.
I'll pass, thank you.
Are you quite sure? I'll make sure it is I assure you it would be a dignified piggyback ride.
Is that it, Princess Carrie?
I would prefer the walk, I believe.
Very good.
So how wounded are you, Cassie? Do you need to use any more of these healing potions before you move on?
And these healing poisons.
Yeah. I didn't want to question your logic on the terminology there, but I did wince each time you called it a healing potion.
Well, I mentioned it was a kobold healing potion.
That is true.
Is the piggyback ride open for anybody?
How much do you weigh?
I don't know. Let's see.
I probably shouldn't ask you that. Just, Sir Emery, are you giving free piggyback rides? The elf would like to know.
Well, if one is injured and can't make it on their own, but it seems like it would be bad form to offer to one of our companions, but not others. If it's something you require, I would be quite happy to provide a piggyback ride, I suppose.
Fun? Seems fun to me.
Okay.
All right, very, very good then. Up you go.
Here we go.
Then I guess our scouts should head off, unless you're just going to carry him around the campsite.
So does Bodil and Francis
Yep.
go up ahead?
Yes, we do.
So you start making your way again through these hills that have lots of these jagged crags and places to fall, but you kind of get through that area, and then it becomes more solid and not so very. You don't have those deep ravines and such. And then you get to a place in the hills that kind of look like a cliff going up.
Is there a path or?
No, it's like a sheer cliff. That would
All right
require
then.
require more than just walking.
All right.
Are there
Requires piggyback rides.
are there are there any
Well, yes, I will giddy up. I will giddy up, and we'll.
Are-
do some
are there-
climbing.
any tracks from the last party that we fought coming this way?
Not that you can see, no. The ground is very rocky and little to no vegetation.
Looking up this cliff, about how tall is it?
It's a good 100 feet up in the air.
Are there ledges or is it pretty sheer?
It's pretty sheer. I'm not saying it's unclimbable, but it's not just a nice jaunt up there.
Yes, and I don't necessarily have any skill at climbing. What about you?
Yeah,
Um,
I do. I can climb walls. I don't know if this really constitutes a wall. It doesn't look like it has very many handholds.
hmm.
Let's see.
Climbing, I believe, is called climb walls in Palladium, so
Scale walls, but
or scale
Yep.
walls, something like that.
Yes, I don't have that particular skill set. Well, I have some rope here. If you,
I've got some rope.
I have 40 foot. If you could, perhaps we could combine our ropes, knot them together, and you could climb up and tie off a rope to assist others in the
I have a question
climbing.
for you. Are only the two of them at the cliff, or the wall, or are all of us up there now?
Currently, it's just them two.
Okay.
You're have to be within 160 feet if you're going for that limited telepathy range. So it won't be too much longer before you get up there. But you can see them at the base of this cliff wall,
Hey,
While
and it's just
Well,
ahead of them, to the right and the left. You know, go off normal.
while we're walking,
Oh, so we could just change direction, turn left, turn right.
Yeah, it's not like you're in a a
Dead end?
three-sided or dead end. I mean, it is out in the middle of the wilderness. So
Well, Bodil, do you want to go along the side for a little ways, or do you want to try and climb here?
Let's see about just making a direction change and yeah, let's go along the side a ways.
which way do you go? To the left would be going towards the road, and going towards the right would be towards the haunted lake.
Towards the road, I guess. I don't know.
Hey,
All right, we head towards the road.
While we're walking,
You're not. Mr. Piggyback.
while the party is walking, I'm getting a piggyback ride.
Well, some of us are walking.
Crandor asks Sir Emery, so when you got your mind invaded, what did that feel like?
All right, no, it's not so much an invasion. I would never allow that kind of thing to occur. It was just more communication.
Did it tingle?
No, I mean, it wasn't that kind of an interaction. She's much too young for me, understand, so.
It's just him talking through your mind?
Her.
Yeah, I could hear her clear as day, but her lips were not moving. Perhaps there's some sort of ventriloquism.
Interesting.
I once saw a person do it with little wooden heads. Now, mine's not. Mine's certainly not wooden, of course.
No, of course not. I wouldn't think of it.
So they had stopped at the edge of a cliff, and then it looks like they turned left and continued on. So the people in back kind of, you don't have to go all the way to the cliff unless you want to. You could just kind of cut a corner.
Well, Sir Emery, where are we going? I'll cut the corner.
Yeah, less walking. I'm okay with less walking.
So you still follow Bodil and Francis. Bodil and Francis, you get to after a while, we'll say another 30 minutes or so, you get to another cliff, but this time it's going down. And in front of you, you actually see the road here.
how deep is
Well,
It's about 40 feet down.
so we can tie a rope off to something at the top and have a rope for helping us kind of rappel or climb down the side.
There's no trees or anything to tie it off to. You could tie it off to, like, say, Sir Emery.
Are there any big rocks we could tie it to?
No,
Not
just a
really.
Sir Emery.
Where's the road in relationship to this ditch, crevasse, whatever?
It's just a cliff. It goes down, levels off, and then you see the road probably about 50 feet away from the bottom of the cliff. The road was kind of keeping away from the cliffs and the hills.
Bodil, do you want to rejoin the rest of the party and decide if we want to go down and then back to the road, or do we want to go up that cliff face?
I will go find out. Bodil trots back to the rest of the group and poses the question.
I'm going with her.
Okay, so unless the group turns and tries to stay that distance away while their companions are closing in, then everybody can get back together.
Is there a point where that 100-foot or so cliff face diminishes a little bit down to say 60 feet or so?
No, it kind of stays that tall the entire time you were kind of walking with that to your right.
Hey, Lehman.
Yes.
The new cliff that goes down,
Yes.
is that perpendicular to the one that goes up?
Yes. So it's like on the right is the one that goes up, and in front of you it goes down.
Could we peer around the edge to see how far that one goes in?
If you weren't too clumsy, yes.
I would recommend that for somebody else.
I second that.
So do we want to go up or do we want to go down? If we
We
go
want to
down,
go
I
around.
guess we go over to the road.
Well, Sir Emery, could you hold Francis out so she could peer around the edge of the upward slope to see what can be seen? Because
I'll get off your back.
Wait, that's a thing that can. All right. Like dangling her by her ankles or something? Is that what we're talking here?
well, while she stands on the edge, if you hold her belt and let her lean out so she can look around the corner of the 100-foot one to see if maybe we could possibly just do a short climb around something to another ledge.
Right. Okay. Very good.
Okay, so Francis, you lean out and look to the right, where the cliff ends at the right and then goes down in front of you, and you kind of see that you are looking at the front of a carved fortress into the side of the hill.
So if we go up, we'll be sort of on top of the fortress?
Yes.
So I explained that to the group after I asked Sir Emery, pull me in.
Oh, of course, yes. Was that quite all right?
Yes. If we go up, what I see is the face of a fortress.
So yeah, let me just, if not from your perspective, but basically you're here.
Do I have the map? Oh, I see now.
Actually, it goes a lot higher.
We were here, he said.
Yeah,
I don't know where you're at.
the circle here.
So there's no guarantee that there's a way to get in through the top. But if we climb down now, we will probably be within full view of their face.
Seems like we should be able to scale down
Whoops. I just like
to the entrance of the.
I think going in from above might be. I don't think they would expect that as much.
Yes, the going through however many feet of earth and rock is generally unexpected. Yeah.
I was just wondering if we could climb down the face of it and
Mhm.
hop
Yeah,
in on them.
Yeah, just traverse across the face of it and go from there down to the entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, could do that.
Well, the entrance is probably going to be difficult to get into, but if we go up above it, there may be an entrance up above.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a try.
Lehman,
yes.
gonna tie our two ropes together.
Okay.
And I am going to get up next to the face of the cliff and levitate.
Okay.
So I can do 60 feet.
Okay.
So when I get up to around 50, 55, 60 feet, I'm going to look for a crack or something that I could stick something in, maybe one of those extra swords or whatever.
Cobalt javelin.
Kind of like a piton.
Okay.
And then stand on that. I wouldn't be able to use that now as a base to levitate from there, could I?
No, you have to levitate from a solid ground.
Okay.
So you are going up like the 100-foot cliff, right? That's what
Yes.
Okay.
And when I get up, like I said, to about 50, 55, 60 feet, look for a place that I can stick a piton or the equivalent into. Tie off
Okay.
some rope. And I guess I'm going to try and climb the rest.
Okay. So give me a climbing or whatever the scale
Scale wall.
walls.
Do I want below my rating or above it?
You want below it.
Oh, good God.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time.
Oh!
So give me
Like I
yeah, I know 2d6 against your physical prowess.
So roll 2d6.
Yes.
And what am I looking against?
Your PP.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's see. So you had tied off to that sword,
Yeah.
and you did a decent job, but you still kind of slam up against the, as you fall,
Yep.
you go below that.
Yep.
You were, what do I want to say? You weren't, since your rope and tying and stuff would have been less than 80, and you went up 50 to 60, between 50 and 60
Yep.
feet. It wasn't long enough to let you hit the ground. But the PP was to see how well you got that sword in there, so it does not come loose, so you don't fall to the ground. But you take 4 points of damage as you slam into the side and scrape
Okay.
yourself up.
Well, if I go below that 50 feet or that where I tied off the thing,
Yes.
would my levitate kick in?
Yes. Well, press the do the levitate so I can see what it says. So that only takes you up 45 feet. It's 30 feet base, and then whenever a spell says per level, it means per additional level.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't look very appealing to me. I think the front door is sounding better all the time.
Yeah. Bothia looks at her claws and her paws and says, yes, the front door sounds good.
Yeah, you wouldn't have hit the bottom, but still above the 45 feet, you banged yourself up.
Okay.
So you could raise yourself back up to that level to, redo the rope and then go back down, or try to go up again.
How many tries would I have to do to try and make it to the top?
It's just once.
Just once. I'm going to try it one more time. No.
Mm.
That kind of scared you a bit. And it broke your concentration.
Ooh.
So
0.
you take 6 points on the way down.
Ouch.
And then Francis is hanging about 6 feet above the ground when the rope stops her.
All right. Can Bodil help her get down, or is Bodil not tall enough?
I think you're taller than 6 feet.
Yes, so Bodil will try to help her get down.
So you kind of undo the rope, and the rope is still hooked to a sword about 45 feet above the ground level.
So am I unconscious at 0 or am I still awake?
You are
Oh, no.
unconscious.
Oh.
So yeah, Bodil cradles Francis in her arms and looks to the rest of the group and says, perhaps the front door is the best idea.
Perhaps. Yes. Right. Let's see.
Well, I will check to make sure that she's not going to bleed out.
No, at 0, there's
Right,
not
just
the bleed up.
just
But yeah, I
doing my
understand.
medical checks on her to make sure.
She fall all the way down?
She fell
No,
6 feet above us.
yeah, the rope caught her like 6 feet above the ground, and then Bodil untied her. But the rope is still tied up to the sword 45 feet up the cliff wall. And then, so basically it's, 45 feet up and then 35 down.
Oh, wow.
Well, do we need to retreat for the evening and try again tomorrow?
Wait until our intrepid adventurer and scout is ready. Probably a good idea.
If there was some way we could keep an eye on the front of that
Okay,
fortress
so
and
if
see.
we retreat now, we're leaving a rope and evidence that we've been here on the side of the fortress?
Well, I was wondering if Sir Emery might not be able to pull that free.
I could certainly give it a hefty try, but as I was saying, perhaps we should find some way of perhaps keeping an eye on the comings and goings of this fortress. I mean, it would perhaps be best if we could find some way to smuggle ourselves in, and something clever, and and then attack
If they
once we're
get
inside.
You're saying if they get like a delivery, like with a cart and something to hide on the cart.
Oh yes, exactly. That's very clever.
You mean
Okay,
like
a cart will not hold a wolfen,
a
a
pizza
bear man.
delivery scam?
No, I mean, I've been thinking perhaps we could all dress as kobolds, but this this idea of the cart, that seems very good, very
If they're
good.
dressing as kobolds, I think one of us could get away with that.
Indeed.
And they're,
Don't feel
they're
too bad, everybody. Nobody's not everybody's quite as clever as I am.
not. There haven't been any ogres amongst the enemy yet, have there?
Yeah, there was quite a few.
Yeah, we
ogres.
killed several.
So perhaps we could dirty you up, Sir Emery.
Bless you.
So we're going to dirty up Sir Emery and the kobold and have him take some prisoners in?
Oh, I did not know. I do not like that idea.
Oh, prisoner transfer from cell block. Wow.
Oh God, in this scenario, am I a Wookiee?
Yes, you would be a Wookiee in this one.
I am not a fan of that actual scenario, but if the cart wasn't big enough to hide us all, they could at least possibly pass themselves off as belonging.
Mhm. So long as we did away with the with the people who were driving the wagon in the first place.
Right,
I
right,
wonder where
of
this
course.
mystical cart is.
So why don't I and maybe some people to guard me take Frances back a ways, and I will treat her, and then the more perceptive of us could set up a watch here so that we can look for a situation like Sir Emery suggests.
So what do I roll to yank a sword out of a cliff?
Normally, I would say 3d6 versus your strength, but Frances fell twice, put a lot of pressure. Plus, I made sure that she put it in right, so that'll add an extra d6. So roll 5d6 versus your strength.
I thought it was 3d6, and then it goes up by 1. It's going up by 2, so 5d6.
5d6, yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Boom! I got it.
you just yank it right out. All that hard work Francis did to get that sword.
Yep, it came out to a little over half my strength.
Sir Emery was like, yes, that wouldn't have worked anyway. It never would have held me.
So you want us to sit around here looking for a wagon or a cart, and then ambush it in front of the fortress, and then climb in and go.
I mean, can we hide in the woods outside of the fortress? Perhaps? Like by the road, and then when a cart comes by with, deliveries or whatever. Yeah.
That would take going down the 40-foot cliff face in front of you.
Yeah.
Is a
Well,
is a
climbing
cart
down-
likely to go by where we are right now?
Where you are now, absolutely not.
That's what I thought.
You had to go across ravines and crevices and.
Yeah.
So if we
Yeah.
want to ambush a cart, we're gonna have to go down the 40-foot cliff.
Yeah, we'll
face.
have to be by the road. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have to go down the 40-foot cliff. We can follow the road, can't we?
Yes. The thing is, climbing down is easier.
Yeah, it's more
Overall.
like falling.
But yes, if you do it properly, it could be a very controlled fall. But yes. Yeah. But even if you mess up, you still get where you're going.
Exactly.
I personally don't have a super good mental image of the layout here.
Me too.
Well, basically, in front of us is a 40-foot cliff down, and about 50 feet away from the base of the cliff is the road.
To the left.
Well, yeah, the road goes left and right in front of us, yes. To the front of the thing. And immediately to our right, when you're facing that road, is that 100-foot rise to the top of the keep.
Okay.
So here, let me try to draw this thing again. So
But
if you're facing it, so not exactly how you're seeing it, but if you were looking at the Dwarven Holt from the front,
got it. Wormhole does seem like a defensible location.
Mhm.
okay, so this is the area that you went up and where all these crevices and stuff. And then here it goes up 100. It goes down 40. And there's like the entrance here, and you have the road.
So we are off the road
Yeah,
in
we're up.
this region right here.
You're here.
Yeah, we're
Right
up.
there.
We're
If
above
this-
the road.
Francis was here and then fell down and was hanging.
Lehman,
Yes.
does this kind of look like the Dwarven Fortress in Lord of the Rings?
It looks like your typical dwarven fortress thing,
You just
but
you
not
just have-
quite as
Yeah.
as big. But you know, we have a sheer thing up here, and it's flat. You're at the edge, and then it goes down there.
So Lehman,
All right.
these holes over here, if say Francis was awake and aware, Francis could levitate up in front of that and win.
Levitate. If she went here, she could levitate up, or she
Yeah.
might be able to grab some handholds and like move herself over.
Or if she's levitating, can someone throw her?
Um,
All right. Yeah. Sounds amazing.
yeah, as I recall, we've had some pretty bad luck with throwing people.
We haven't tried to. Oh, somebody did try to throw you, didn't they?
Yes.
They tried to throw someone over a ditch. If you're levitating and you're thrown across, you won't
That
fall.
not work.
How high up are those windows, Lehman?
There, I was just trying to draw, like, I don't know,
Patient.
bas relief type carvings and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
There are like what I want to call arrow slits
Yeah.
Right.
in those areas, but it's like the most of it is for, you probably got a dwarf face with a beard, type thing.
Mhm.
So there's no real openings other than the gate.
That looks more like a kobold.
They've defaced it
Well,
since.
That was his yeah, that was more of the beard.
So really, there's only the gate that's an opening.
Correct.
Hmm.
So what we're talking about now is lowering people by a rope down to the lower level.
Awake, I
Hey.
could probably.
Are we trying to go in? Are we trying to get are trying to hijack a cart and get in through the front?
Well,
My trickery.
if we have to get to the
Or-
road to get to a cart, we have to go down to get to the road.
All right.
If I was awake, I could probably levitate several of the smaller party members at least.
Yeah, we just have to wake you up. Perhaps by gently slapping you.
Gently giving him another hit point of damage.
Yeah.
Oh. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe spend the evening resting, and hopefully Francis will wake up in the morning. and we might be able to see how much traffic there is in and out of the fortress if we keep a
Alright.
watch over it.
I thought that
I'm game.
I thought that was the original plan, was to observe for a while.
This was just mostly saying, hey, why don't we wait till the next day till we can all heal up some more and you'll be awake, and then we can see if there's any goings on there. So yeah, basically original. It's the original idea, but with a couple modifications, including a time expectation.
All right.
Okay.
So, who
Bodil looks for a
is-
place for us to make camp.
okay, and who is going to observe?
I can be one of the observers.
Yeah, I'm going with Francis to try to tend to her.
Okay.
Uh,
So Bodil finds a place that kind of part of the cliff wall has a little recess in it that you can all kind of huddle in, and unless you're being looked at directly in front, it would be hard to see from the side or above.
Excellent.
But what she said, excellent.
Does Cassius have any type of
Camouflage.
camouflage or hiding or stealth or anything like
the
that?
prowl skill, which is
Yeah.
yeah. Let me check to see if I've got anything else to
Be
do.
right.
See, yeah, prowl. That's pretty much the limits of what I can do. So I guess I will roll that.
Okay.
Not bad.
So you kind of get yourself hidden in a little area that gives you a good view of the road. And after a while, you do see a cart going down to the road or going down the road, but you notice that it's not being pulled by horses. It's where the two horses normally would be on this cart. There are 4 ogres.
Ah. Hmm.
And you actually can see kind of as the cart is moving down the road that they're dripping from it is a red liquid from the base.
Oh. Hmm. Interesting.
Ooh, a Fanta cart. Strawberry Fanta, right?
Something like
This
that.
Fanta, I've heard it's quite excellent.
Yes, that will be and is it going into the fortress?
Yes, it is going into it turns
Okay.
along the road
Okay.
and into the fortress.
So we need to see if there's some way we can jump. If we wait for one of those carts, we can see if we can jump onto the back of it without being noticed by the ogres.
I did say that the road is about 50 feet away from the base of the.
Yes, I know. I'm thinking later on, after we go down the cliff and find some place, see if we can find a place to hide closer to the road. But it'd work better if we had a nice big distraction.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what kind of distraction would work.
I mean, I could always jump out from, from the underbrush and say, "Oh, look, a distraction."
The problem would be getting separated from the rest of the
Mhm.
group. Oh, I just thought of something. When the car, ambush them a little bit further away from the fortress, put them to sleep using your cloud of slumber or whatever it is, and then we pile on the cart while they're asleep, and then when they wake up, they
Nice.
yeah.
You have to make sure you leave part of the cart out of the cloud, otherwise we might fall asleep. And sleep on the rest for so long it would succeed.
But yes, but we would wake up at the same time that they would, and at least some of us would be likely to succeed. Hopefully.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Has a nice element of risk involved.
Yes, but I can't think of any other way to do it without them noticing. Since as benignedly stupid as ogres tend to be, they're not that benignedly stupid.
Mm. I mean, it's the only I like your plan. And yeah, sounds good. Anybody else willing to go for it? Hop on the cart with this ogre slumber and ride into the stronghold.
Is there anything? What's on the cart?
Something that's dripping a red liquid.
Is
Fanta. I'm
Blood?
told it's Fanta.
it kegs? Is it boxes? Is it just an empty cart with blood dripping out of it?
It's a cart of meat. Whether the
Or
meat,
Fanta.
I'm presuming that the meat was was people in fighting shape at one point fairly recently. So
Well, the point is moot now. Has it ridden by? We're just watching.
yes,
I think so. We're assuming there'll be another cart,
yes.
another ogre cart.
We can assume the cart leaves. We could take them as they leave and come back with a cart. Then you'll have ogre
Okay.
meat.
The
Okay.
thing,
But I guess we'll probably need to plan that when people are healthier.
mhm. Yes.
So are you waiting there until it gets too dark to really see, or are you staying there all
Yeah.
night, or what?
Yeah. I mean, after a certain point, even my dark vision's not going to be that good. Well, that useful for this. All my night vision.
Do you see any torches, anything that lights up possible other openings in the cliff face?
You're unconscious.
He's unconscious, and we're on the side of the wall, side where we can't see.
Yeah, I assumed that we had taken you away from here, or at least I had
Yeah.
taken you away, and I was treating your wound so that you could wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on things, see if I see any lights and such.
Well, while you stay and do that, I'll go look to see if I can find us any meat.
Well, Bodil's happy to help with hunting or what have you, if she's, if she has time.
I remember where there's meat back in those ravines.
You go butcher them up and just tell us you found a deer somewhere.
Well, what do you think's in that cart?
Oh, I know what's in there. I know what's in their cart. I thought you were talking about bringing it back for us to eat.
No,
Here,
I was talking
here,
about-
human. This oddly shaped thing was a rabbit.
This is a deer liver.
Yes. Why does this rabbit have ankle bones shaped like that?
Well, doesn't kobold taste like chicken?
You really don't get any food, but if you wish to resort to it, you would be able to get some like grubs and things like that to help supplement your protein.
Yes, grubs are delicious, slimy yet satisfying.
I don't know if you could call them satisfying at my size. Or yours, either.
Mhm.
If you eat enough of them, they're satisfying.
Yes. I really picture Bodil with like a little saute pan over the fire with some grubs in there, just stirring it around with like her claw.
So, can
Even
I
though I don't have a saute pan in my inventory.
So Cassie gets back to the group. If you can tell them what I told you if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I relayed the info. Yeah. All right. Now. So, I guess we're going to head down and are we going to head down the cliff and prepare to ambush one of their carts?
I like it. Yes. Sounds like fun to me.
Yep. Any other ideas? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Oh, no,
Good.
of course not.
I have a question. How is our kobold at scouting? Could he penetrate the fortress and see what's inside and come back out and tell us?
Well, first of all, I would stop you and say our kobold, as you say, does have a name. It is Cassius.
Yes, could I penetrate and get into the fortress? Possibly. Could I be discovered rather easily if I have to speak to any of them? Probably.
Why would you be discovered easily if you had to speak to them? You don't speak kobold?
Well, I speak the language. It's just that I probably have a different accent. I wouldn't know any of the passphrases or counter challenges and such.
He also doesn't know Karen in accounting.
Yes. Although I suppose
So-
if I
Over the night, everybody should have full magic points. ISP, Cassius, you heal. Actually, I'm just gonna. Oops. I'll just update the.
okay.
Cassius and Francis heal. I think they're the only ones that are hurt currently.
Okay. Actually, do we have any of the? Well, I'm wearing a suit of their armor. If we grab one of the cloaks from one of the dead kobolds, I'm sure I could. If I'm wearing the right uniform, it'd be easier to get in. Yes, could do that. Or I could be used to kind of set the trap for the cart.
So it's back in the morning of the next day on 27th. So what are you doing?
I guess I can try to disguise myself as one of their kobolds.
I mean, we've got plenty of examples of their clothing and armor and such.
Yes. Right.
So would it be easier?
Oh,
You don't look right.
Looks good to me.
Would it be easier for the rest of us if you're talking about taking a carriage to go back the way we came to the road, or is climbing our only option?
climbing would be faster.
Well, yes, especially when gravity takes over.
Well, yes.
Not only that, but all right, if you're looking at his little drawing, over here, it's 40 feet down. What is it over here?
What
Can
is
we
it
go
over where?
Over here?
That is where you kind of started where you faced the what I want to say, that area was where you fought the band of
Right.
kobolds, orcs, and ogres.
Okay.
So
So like Anthony said, we could go back that direction and get on the road easier than jumping down 40 feet.
though we also can now make the assumption that that was a guard post of sorts, right? Or a patrol.
Yeah.
How long do we really have before there is an alarm called?
That they go missing?
Since they were probably supposed to check in same night or the next morning at the latest. The sooner we go in, the better.
Well, there's your entry.
Well, I mean, I suppose it depends.
Come and
I
warn
mean,
them.
how reliable are these and loyal are these troops? They seem undisciplined. Perhaps it could be assumed that they are deserters.
Did Francis see fear in the one when she did the armor?
I don't know. Francis, what did you see?
When I did what?
When you
How'd you
read
see?
the armor of the one of why these people were together.
As far as I remember, I didn't see any fear. I was just talking to the armor, so
Okay.
Well, with these, undisciplined and, press-ganged armies, I think the first assumption could be that they are simply deserting.
Yes, but are they press ganged armies or are they just a bunch of bandits?
I suppose we don't know all of that. We have failed to interview any of them.
That is very true.
Perhaps we should remedy that.
So the thought is then is to try to find one of these wagons going by and take it over.
Yes, and hope that the ogres are dim-witted enough to simply bring us in.
well, how do we know that it's going to be ogres at the door? It could be kobolds, it could be elves.
Go on into these pack ogres or ogres of burden.
I thought the plan was to take the ogres of burden out of it.
Yes.
All right.
And then if you push it in, you could just claim you were attacked and you were the only survivor.
Suppose.
Well, we should make a decision soon. I'm not fond of being prisoners, but if that's the only way to get us all in there, we can go that route. Or apparently climbing onto a pile of the dead.
Well, I suppose we could always have someone sneak up next to the door so that when the cart goes in, we can gain entry. But the first thing we have to do is find a cart.
Yes.
Well, I guess first thing to do is set up an ambush for a cart and wait.
Bless you.
So, what were you doing?
think we
twiddling
go.
our thumbs.
I like hopping on a cart. Are we going to pretend to be corpses on the cart then?
I would assume
If
that.
we pretend to be corpses, then nobody has to be like tied up or bound or anything.
So our next plan, I think, is to go a little ways away from the keep, climb down however we climb down, and find a spot near the road where we might be able to ambush a cart.
Okay. I'm in.
How much weight can our levitator levitate?
I can levitate.
I think it's 120 pounds. So herself, probably the elf, maybe old man Nicholas, the dog, and what do we want to say? The kobold.
That would be nearly enough to levitate my penis, but would not allow the rest of me to travel.
Oh my God.
This is going on YouTube.
Oh my God. Tell me you like edit this or something.
What'll be funny is if I try and do that.
No, please, I can't. No, please don't.
Well, at least he has range. He doesn't have to touch it.
Okay, moving on. Can we fast forward?
Just thought it would be funny to
From
say in that voice.
this conversation, please.
Well, unfortunately, old man Nicholas is a little too heavy for that too. But maybe some of our stronger people could lower us.
We should be able to lower some people with rope.
Yeah, I like that. I like being cradled in a basket of rope and lowered gently down rather than tumbling down 40 feet.
Me too.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's make a harness out of rope for these guys then.
Or, I mean, we could perhaps walk around.
Or we can walk around.
If you walk around, it'll take another 2 to 3 days because you spent 2 days getting to the
This advantageous
dwarf
point.
hold.
And you did mention that you think that it is possible they could consider that whole team deserters. But on the off chance that it's not just poor training and maybe they're out there for a couple of days, perhaps speed is a little bit more of the essence.
How tall are you, Sir Emery?
I'm rather tall.
How half can you reach?
I don't know if I have it on the character sheet or anything.
Well, we'll go to a place where we can lower people down unobtrusively and either levitate or lower them down with rope. I have
it here. 11'6".
Oh, that's tall.
And 650 pounds.
All right, so if you dangle by your arms, you're at least 20 feet down, right?
Yeah, right? Or your arms,
I don't think my arms are
the full
8
length of
feet
your
long.
own.
Racist. Did you see his picture? His knuckles drag. Wait, no, they don't. My bad. Anyway, I have a rope work skill, so I can tie the rope in such a manner that people won't just be falling out of it or having to hang on.
Very good.
Step into a loop, put the foot in, we can lower them down, step off, do that to whomever we need to, and have one person that will have to make the climb check.
Which I'm guessing is Sir Emery.
I doubt you or Francis will be able to lower us down.
And I don't have a climb check, so do you have a climb check, Sir Emery? How good are you at climbing?
I am not particularly good at climbing. I mean, I'm more into horsemanship, as it were.
Horse will take you? What kind of horse?
They're very large horses.
I guess. Are you sure they're horses and not like hippopotamuses?
Well, I will take a rope and tie knots in it so it's easier for whoever to climb that has to climb down has an easier time climbing.
All right.
Or we have 3 ropes at least.
All right, let's implement this plan. I think we've got it. Have we got all the pieces in place? Everybody feel comfortable?
Okay. Yes. I guess first thing to do is to head down the cliff and then wait for a car. Oh no,
Yep.
or am I? Yep. Okay. So
So there you go, Lehman. The plan is in
So
play.
everybody can get down easily, just lowered up into the 3 larger characters. The Decimus, Bodil, and Sir Emery will need to come up with a
We'll
way
need to-
besides you just get to the bottom without problem.
Right, cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Odile will so if you don't have the climbing skill, what
So you're
trait?
saying we can't lower Bodil or Decimus down with the rope?
It's not going to be a automatic success like with the lightweight people.
Sure, what trait would that be based on then?
Well, what it would be Sir Emery making a strength check not to let go, and then he would be having to come up with a way for himself to get down.
Ah, okay.
Tell me about falling damage.
Let's talk about falling damage.
So does Sir Emery bust out like a notepad and paper and start doing the geometry of it all?
Yes, the trigonometry.
And breaks into physics and figures out, how long it will take before you hit critical mass.
He may do all that scribbling. He might. He will definitely not come to the right answer, but he will do that math.
Are there big rocks that he could loop the rope around?
Nope,
Yeah.
I've already.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Yep, I believe that is established.
So make your strength check then, man.
So pick
Odile's in the harness. She's ready to be lowered down.
Oh, it's just a strength check to lower her down.
Come on.
How many D6
Yeah,
do you want?
just give me 3d6 versus strength.
Oh, I made it.
Okay.
yeah.
His strength is
And,
22. He makes it.
Okay.
Got it.
And then it would be the same with
Or 21, I think.
Decimus. So
Yeah,
how
it's
is Sir
21, so-
Emery? How is Sir Emery getting down then?
Whoa.
Odile stands at the bottom with her arms outstretched. I'll
Oh,
catch
that's
you.
Well, there are trees down there.
Trees,
You
no.
can not leap across and grab onto a tree.
Yeah.
No.
There are 0 trees whatsoever.
Yes, there are 0 trees. This was a dwarven hole. They do not want things around there that enemies can hide in.
Yes.
Like the trees.
Hmm. Yeah.
How much does Sir Emery weigh?
600.
Only 650 pounds.
Like 3 of me.
I can.
And this is a sheer cliff.
Can we
Yes.
drive the kobold sword into the ground, tie the rope onto it, have you try climbing down that way?
You can try. It's just, does he trust that? Because he remembers how well a kobold sword kept
You just
him.
need to come try it out.
We can put 2 swords in if you want.
I can reduce his weight by a 1/6.
Well, let me see here.
Okay. You could put
So what is it going to take to try to climb down without the climb skill?
You'll fall.
You
Put
just,
4
you just
javelins
fall.
into the ground, tying the rope onto each one of them. So you'll have 4 times the chance of it holding.
Oh, there's steel walls.
If you grab the edge and kind of lower yourself down, that will be less falling damage. And I would
All right, maybe we'll do that.
I would give you a 3d6 versus your PP to take less damage.
All right, let's do that. That's what we're going to do. Hopefully, I won't hurt my PP.
Seems like a big
Because
concern
it's
for
not
you
getting
tonight.
levitated.
All right, so I'm going to roll that 3d6. Well, it is under my PP of 14.
Okay.
And dangling down.
So you
And beat it my PP.
you drop down and pretty close to the edge of the bottom. You almost feel a little draft or something, and you only take 5 points of damage.
All right. That wasn't too bad.
And everybody is at the bottom of the cliff with the road about 40-50 feet off.
We go find our ambush site.
All right. Now everybody look casual. Oh, we wait for a cart to come by.
Are you going to hike up your skirt? Show a little thigh?
You can do that. I'm not really a thigh shower. I haven't shaved in a while.
Ever.
Right.
So Bodil is able to find a place that you think you can hide, and you wait. And how long are you going to wait?
As long as it takes.
Well, I would say that if we don't see something today, we'll probably have to come up with another plan for tomorrow.
That sounds like a workable.
So no carts or people come down the road.
Is this the direction the cart came from that went in?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, shit, I did have to get lost.
So we wait until tomorrow. I mean, it took us a long time to come up with this plan.
No, it did. It did take us like several days to
So,
really plot this out.
so
We have to give it time to work.
Yes.
we would probably want. We found a place for an ambush. I don't know if we found a place where we can camp here by the side of the road, or would we be safe enough to camp here?
Probably not.
Well, probably not with a campfire. We'd have to just cuddle.
I am quite cuddly.
Okay.
I don't show leg, but I do cuddle.
Well, I will go look for a place to camp for the night.
Yeah, I think we move away, and perhaps we do the thing where the kobold and the ogre have a rope leading to some prisoners that they're dragging along the road.
And Master Francis, if I don't know if or Nicholas, sorry, Nicholas, if you could take a look at my boo boo.
Oh, once we get to a safer spot, yes, I will.
Oh, very good.
I'll
Of
tend to it.
course. When it's convenient for you, of course. Naturally.
I'll pull Francis over and show how I tend to scrapes and bumps and bruises.
Ah, yes. I mean, it's just that I landed upon my posterior, and it's rather bruised.
That's the only cure.
Are you quite sure you don't have a band-aid for it?
I don't have enough bandage to cover that.
I don't know what you're referring to, sir.
Not enough bandage in the world for that.
So I will make sure that he is treated very clinically.
Okay.
Sit watches for the night. Wait for the next day.
Yep.
It's the next day. I already healed the people that are to be healed.
So I think we need.
I'm afraid your band-aid did not really do much. My posterior is quite sore still. I'm gonna have to stand all day.
You need physical therapy for such injuries. I recommend
see.
30 squats every morning.
Yes. Podil says squats are the thing.
What was that, Chris?
I thought you can give him a 20-mile run.
I think our plan needs to be to see if our friend Cassius and Sir Emery, so maybe you might want to use a different name, can look like they're leading potential food into the keep.
Sit with your brother. Sit over by your brother.
I know that we're removed from the city or town, my village, more or less. But I don't know that that area can sustain the sheer number of refugees we have, especially if these people are hunting the area clean.
You know, it occurs to me now that we should have perhaps spoken a bit with the you know, some of these refugees about the layouts and, you know, a bit more, what do you call it, intelligence about this dwarven horde.
Yeah, in hindsight, that seems like probably would have been a good plan.
I feel like we're lacking in intelligence.
I cannot argue with that statement.
You are
I
a
concur.
kitty.
Oh. Oh,
But-
man.
I do think that our next best hope of getting in is for you guys to pretend to be bringing food to them. Prisoners' food, what have you.
Oh,
So
yes.
then we can sneak up next to it in the dark and have them show up to get in.
Well,
And as we've discussed before, we believe food is a euphemism for dead people, right?
yeah. I don't
Okay.
know how many of us can sneak. I actually am not too bad at it. I mean, I had to hide and watch the sheep all day, so I learned a few tricks to hide myself.
I dare say I'm rather abysmal at it.
I'm not very sneaky.
You were
Bears are generally pretty obvious.
all they have to do is tell you you're sneaky, and now you're sneaky.
While
Whether
you
you're-
come up with a plan, I'm still listening, but I'm going AFK a moment.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I gotta leave for the night, so
that will work.
bye everybody.
Oh,
Bye,
bye,
Jason.
Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Good night, Jason.
Bye.
Have fun playing.
Oh, no more piggyback
Yep.
ride for you, sir.
All right, guys. So we go in as prisoners. Is that the plan now?
Well, some
Well,
of
you're
us,
either prisoners or you sneak up to the door and have the kobold and the Sir Emery, pardon me, Cassius and Sir Emery go to the door to get in. But my spell gives
Yeah,
you 50% stealth, whether you're in heavy plate or cloth.
what was the percent?
I'm quite terrible at sneaking. So, any
19%, that's what
any
you get.
assistance? Any magical assistance perhaps you could offer? Some sort of enchantment? Yeah, it sounds excellent. Capital, really.
But we need you to actually talk and get them to open the door.
Well, yes. I mean, I would talk and open and tell them. I will say, "Hello, gentlemen. I am one of your ogre friends, and I have brought these dead foods to you."
Or perhaps Cassius could show up as a refugee from a guard post that's been overrun, and he could tell them and let him in.
Yeah, Sir Emery would have to be less verbose.
I thought I was quite concise in that statement. Was I not?
You're
I'm back.
demonstrating too much education and etiquette for your common everyday barbarian.
Yeah, you needed to be a little more brutish.
Me ogre, bring food.
Oh, that'll be quite a challenge for me, as it's, it'll be quite out of character for me. Well,
And that's why I think Cassius should volunteer for the job.
Everybody else tries to sneak
To the side of the door.
I mean, because I have 0 skills in like subterfuge.
Well,
You're paladin.
That's true. So Cassius sweet talks the door open while the rest of us sneak and hide to the sides.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure this
I
can't
like
fail.
it. I'm in.
It at least makes things interesting one way or another.
This is once we've found one of these cocks to slay everybody.
No, I think this is the cartless plan.
Oh wait, this is a cartless plan?
We don't know how long we have until a cart will come by.
This is the cartless
This is
plan.
a cart-free plan?
Sans cart.
Let's see. And we don't have a Holocaust cloak either, do we?
No.
I see. Very well. Very well.
Okay. So how long does your spell last, Decimus?
It was 25 rounds per cast or per level. So
Okay.
50 rounds per cast. However long a round is in this game.
So Cassius, are you amendable? I think we lost you, Lehman.
I'm here.
Yes, but you were Cassius.
Now I heard you.
Cassius versus the Cassius.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Yep. Yes.
So are you up for this? Are you ready to go?
Yep.
So you are to wait until we sneak to the side of the gates,
Okay.
and then you approach the gates as if you were one of the guards that was taken out, and you try to get an audience with whoever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
So
So Lehman,
before
how long is a round?
A round is around a minute.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about failing, Cassius, until after we make sure we don't fail. So you got to.
Okay. All right.
When we get up to the gate, by the gate, we haven't seen any guards posted outside, have we?
When you kind of looked around that corner, no, you did not see any guards at the outside.
I might be able to determine how many people are just inside the gate.
You'll have to do sign language because the spell I'm casting will not allow for sound.
Well, I can
Or
do
you-
that, or I can, pass it on to Sir Emery by mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Let's have our spell and our reckless abandon.
So who is going up to the gate?
Oh,
I am.
Lehman, I am staying 15 feet back from the entryway so that the kobold can talk, and the people in front on the inside of the gate can talk to him too. I don't want to make it so that it's silent where they're at, just where we are.
yeah.
Old man Nicholas is going with Decimus.
Okay, let me get the setup here. So let me get the setup, and then you can figure out, tell me what you want to do from how you see on the setup, okay?
Alrighty.
That might work better
Mhm.
than you saying something, having something in your mind, and then something completely different happens.
So something completely different will happen. That's okay.
Well, that's almost given.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen to us.
That's the Monty Python rule of combat. And now for something completely different.
I'm gonna. If anybody wants to take like a 5-10 minute break while I make sure that this map is set up correctly, because it's been a long. I did this before we even started the game,
Oh,
so
wow.
No, that's cool.
I just want to make sure that things are kind of working as intended.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
My mom was doing laundry, and
Mhm.
she just went upstairs, and
Mhm.
she said she almost shut Mau Mau into the dryer.
Oh no.
Apparently, she took some clothes out of the dryer and had her back turned to the dryer, and he climbed inside. She was about to shut the door.
Yeah.
So,
I have.
Anthony, can you see anything at all now or not?
Currently, no. Hold on. Let me zoom out just in case I'm not looking at the right spot. No.
No. Okay.
It is a screen of blackness.
Oh. Oh. And still nothing?
Currently, no. If it's zoomed way out so I can see the whole thing and it's just all black.
Gotta be AFK for a second so I can actually get some more caffeine. Assuming the cat will let me move.
Now, Lehman, I can't even
Yeah.
see my token if that matters.
Ah, okay.
All right, stuff just opened up.
Okay. That was weird
Dynamic.
because I did not even see that until like everything looked dark until that for me
Right.
even. Okay.
I see like dynamic lighting like this is one of those arrow slits, I'm guessing.
Yes. Okay. I just need to bring in people one at a time. And make sure they can see.
So guys, is Crandall really on our team, or he just abandoned us and go tell them that we're coming?
Yeah, I think I just, for some reason, on most people, I didn't have the night vision on. I need to make sure that the tokens are set up correctly next. So if anybody cannot see, let me know.
Okay. All right, then I'm back now.
I can see.
Okay.
I see where we are.
Where's the gate?
I'm guessing the gate is
Um,
around the corner. So, Chris, we have to stay within 3 squares of you?
Yeah.
And Chris is this gentleman right here, is he not?
Correct.
Yes, I'm the furry one. Well, I'm one of the furry ones. There's 2 of them.
Actually, there are
there's
several furry
technically
ones.
3. It depends on if you count
let's
the
see.
dog.
That one's furry. That one's furry. That one's could be considered furry. That one could be considered furry. That one's definitely furry.
I was considering myself in the canine.
Hello, I'm a bear. I'm covered in fur. I already said I don't shave.
I do not
Yeah.
recommend
Actually, going on how broad a definition of furry you go through, Cassius might be the only non-furry one in the group.
Yes, the scales don't seem like they grow much hair.
So, Bodil and Francis would need to be closer to Chris. And Cassius, you would be coming up separately from us.
So I need to be outside.
That would be your silence.
Yeah. So basically, I'll head this way. I'm assuming the doorway is up ahead.
Up around the corner.
You
Like-
were
Yeah.
you're traveling this way towards you had it was down this way was where you got off the cliff. It was even further down where the cliff going up was.
Mhm.
Yeah, but up here is the doorway.
Presumably.
That
We don't
direction,
know?
yes.
Okay.
Well, it was hard for looking directly perpendicular was hard for Francis to
Yeah,
get an exact.
So only lean out so far.
Hmm.
But based on the trail that goes to the doorway, I would
Right.
assume it would be. So, like I said, I'll be heading up the green trail that I drew and see. Oh, yes, I need to go back to drawing freehand. There we go. Is that? Probably have to stop back here. Or can I move the circle of silence?
The circle should be moving with you because it looks like it says it's centered on you.
So I will slowly head that way and have people travel with me so that they don't come out of the circle.
And I'll try to stay ahead of the circle. Oh boy.
Is Bob playing?
We're keeping up.
Okay.
Okay, this is a guard structure.
Is that perhaps a window we can sneak in? Or is that already been established? I mean,
Those are like arrow slits.
We can't hear you. You're in the cone of silence.
We
Oh boy. All right. Wow. Here goes nothing.
Okay, stop. I mean, once you had like 3 people pop out around the corner.
We should
Bob,
have.
yes.
could you back up just a little?
Well, I would, but there's a dog right behind me. I don't want to step on the poor creature. The poor beast. Boop. There you go. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was standing on top of a person. Mr. Nicholas, you're so small.
Oh boy.
Lehman,
Yes.
just as Joe goes around the corner there, as Decimus goes around the corner, or sorry, not Decimus, Cassius.
go ahead and move over, Bob. I would have been by my dog. I didn't realize that we ended up on top of each other.
I'm going to do presence sense.
Okay, nobody's doing anything. We're
In
in
initiative.
turns. I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of enemies that see you. They have had plenty of time to know that you are coming, and plenty of time to know that you are against them.
Oh boy.
I mean, you spent like 12 days getting here, killing patrols the entire time. They called back their patrols. They're They're prepared.
Oh boy. Oops.
We're doing initiative.
Yep, we're doing initiative. Yeah. Okay, why is it feeling kind of like Han Solo on the Death Star, halfway between trying to talk to the stormtroopers and before he starts shooting the communications panel? Ah,
Maybe it's time to run away.
yeah,
That might be good advice if you actually knew that they knew you were coming.
yeah. Yep. Yeah. Our only advantage might be that they might think that no one's dumb enough to try a frontal assault on this fortress. You know, if they spend like the first combat round saying they can't be that stupid, they can't be that stupid. They can't be that stupid before they realize that yes, we are indeed that stupid.
Okay, Bodil, you can set your stance and attacks.
I do not see the bad guys.
Nope.
Okay.
Nicholas, Cassius,
Okay. Oh, let me adjust that. I hit I managed to hit a wrong character. All right. There we go.
Now, having a
Shep-
designated hitter is a good idea.
Decimus.
Okay, the dog's doing a magic attack.
Oh, I'm sorry, melee. It's hand to hand in this one. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Although if the dog can cast spells, I'm all for that.
It'd be nice if he could right now, I think, because this is gonna hurt.
No, it's not going to hurt for very long.
So we may have solved the problem of the gate being closed.
What was that?
Said we may have solved the problem of the gate being closed.
Yeah.
Francis.
Uh,
Damon, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If I have silence up, can I end it? Can I cast
Yes.
spells then?
Um,
Okay.
you can end it.
Okay. Because otherwise, I'm in trouble with my stance.
I don't like what they have written down.
Yeah.
So 5 would hit your armor for nothing.
5 would hit my natural armor, so yeah.
Well, you're wearing normal armor.
Okay, so yeah. Yep.
You
But,
take
yeah.
off the because you're not wearing your scales over your suit.
Okay, so yeah. So it hits my armor and bounces.
Yep.
Cool. Oh boy. Yep. Something tells me the gate being open is not a problem. Oh boy.
Sir Emery.
Oh, well then, let's take a peek, shall we?
Nobody
over
can hear
here.
you. But
You
Emery's
need it?
mouth opens and he hears himself in his own head and probably thinks that everybody else hears him too.
Of course. So glancing over here, this is a portcullis,
It is open.
and it is open.
It doesn't look like it's open on purpose. It looks like it's been bashed through.
Oh,
And this doorway here, it looks like it also has been ripped off.
I'm big on repairs.
Well then, I think there's only one thing to do. That is, take it to them, as it were.
Ooh.
Will that be sufficient?
10, that'll get me to this guy. He's a bad guy, right?
Yes, he's a
Yeah,
bad guy.
yeah. That's good news. I mean, probably. And so now I will try to smack him with this iron staff that I carry around for fun.
Okay.
So he'll see if we can parry
He's
that.
going to parry me. Yeah, he is.
Now, how many parries does he get?
Yes,
He's a man at arms, so he gets, as long
he
as
gets
he's
auto
aware of the
parry.
attack.
Oh my.
As long as he's what? Say it again.
As long as he knows that the attack is coming, he can parry.
Okay.
Unless the
I'm
attacker's
not a big
behind
surprise
him.
attacker.
Okay.
That looks like a parry, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
And then that we are Nicholas, old man, Nicholas.
Put the wrong one for this too. Should have been a B. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really scared to go around that corner.
Yeah, the reason I didn't have RV arranged as thrown weapons is its own thing. So
I had to correct it. Sorry. All right, I will throw a rock at that one. Bounces harmlessly off.
yep. This one's gonna throw a javelin at Cassius, and that's also going to hit armor and do nothing. And Cassius.
Okay. I'm gonna zip around behind this guy and stab him in the back.
Ooh, gosh. Does he see it coming?
Yeah, he sees it coming because he saw you.
Yep.
I'm just teasing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
But that
Got him.
Parry.
16. Yay.
Yep.
I thought he could only roll 24s.
Yeah. Well, he only rolls 24s when you roll a 19 to hit him, though.
Ah,
I rolled a 17 to hit him, so I went around what he expected.
noted.
Shep.
Your puppy, good puppy. Come bite the Noger.
Well, Shep is coming to guard his master. He's done.
And Decimus.
I'll come up here and I will cast a spell.
Okay.
Let's see, where was it? Lot of steam. So where was
See what it is.
right there, sweetie.
Roll a targeting. Oh, I forgot to say this for this session, so I won't do this. But in the future, for the targeting, since I'm having negatives to like their dexterity count, I'll also have positives count to it. But I won't do it this time because I forgot to mention that.
Seems fair. If a negative works, then a positive works too. That's how math works.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you can roll on damage.
You still get to save. Oh, like needs it.
I maintain it does seem weird that we're fighting like 4th level ogres.
They're
Getting
only
a
level 2.
And I'm not sure if you saw it or not. These here, they don't move or seem to be affected by anything. You figure that they look like probably armor stacked up to make it look like there's more people than what there actually are.
Oh,
They're doing the whole Bojest thing. Gotcha.
clever. It's a clever facade.
Clever facade.
Yep. Yeah.
You need to turn the aura off of yourself, Chris.
Turn what off?
Your aura.
I have no clue how to turn off my aura.
I'll turn it off for you. You
Thank
should be able to in the token thing, but
The cog, Chris. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We could really use.
Oh, look, more ogres.
We could really use our elf.
Oh.
Yes, we
Check
could
it
use
out.
if you want to try, oh wait, you don't have any left.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I was gonna. If he would have had an attack left, he could have tried to dodge it, but his dodge takes an attack. But he's already. This is attack. Actually.
Cassius is a man at arms, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he failed his parry.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would have needed to roll a natural 20 to parry that anyway. So
Ouch.
yep.
So, Francis,
Casting present sense.
so you sense two things down in this room, or this area, two from this area, two from this area. Let me see how far. That's 100. And you sense two coming from the other side of the one door that's still closed.
Okay. I will shout out. Two in the left bastion, two in the right bastion. You said I had two in this area.
Down here.
Okay.
Well, there, and then one just there's three. Sorry, there's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
And then after you did that, another one who was out of range came into range.
Okay. And three in the middle. So two in the right bastion, two in the left bastion, and three in the middle.
And two back here behind that door.
Okay. And two behind the door.
Nicholas, you're second.
That was a natural 20, but minimal damage.
So the natural 20 is 6 because it's doubled. For some reason, they don't automatically calculate crits, even though there is a space to tell what the multiplier is. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do Jason's character because I was planning on his character being here.
We need the help.
Yep.
figure out what that is. I guess there's one more.
Hi.
Wow.
So all 4 of these just drop.
Nice.
Excellent.
Which 4?
In the entryway.
You mean in section 1?
The ones that
They
were
are sleepy.
the ones that were parrying and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're sleepy, very sleepy.
Are you dead, Joe, or are you still up?
I'm at negative hit points.
Uh-huh.
He's also laying in a cloud of
Negative a lot of hit points.
But it's okay because he's having a nap. Sleep is very healing.
Francis.
Uh,
Francis had already gone. He did the sense.
what's that?
Francis did psionics.
Yes, Francis has 1 hand-to-hand left.
Okay.
I'm going to move to there. If I go to this spot, would I be able to reach in and grab?
Reaching in affects you.
If you go to that spot, you will need to make a check because you would be going into the cloud of slumber.
Okay. Is Cassius laying there with his mouth open?
Definitely.
I doubt you'll be able to throw
Target
a
it.
potion into his mouth because
Well, I was thinking.
the big ogre in front of him even would be way obstructing.
Cassius has partial cover.
I was thinking about telekinesis, but
You could bounce it off the ogre's belly. As the ogre's probably lying down asleep.
how much does let's see. How much does Cassius weigh?
Probably 40 to between 40 and 60 is what I would be guessing for something under like 3 or 3
Yeah,
foot, something like that.
Yeah, with all equipment, yeah.
Would I be able to levitate him out of there?
You can levitate up or down.
Okay.
And the cloud of slumber is affecting. Well, I guess that wouldn't matter. It's not like it's a steam cloud that would still hurt him. It's not like he's
Right.
sleeping. He's sleeping for a very different reason other than the cloud of slumber.
If I hit or attack the sleeping guys, they wake up.
No.
Nope.
Nope. Kill them while they're down.
Well, I did melee, so I can't throw a. Let me see, what's my move? So I can get to there. And I will stab that one.
Okay.
Ooh,
That was a natural 20, so that's a crit, so 8 points of damage.
Nice.
And I'm looking at the time. I'm looking at everybody here, so I think I'm going to call it for the night. Hopefully next time Jason will be here so he can continue with his character.
Now he's going to show up and be like, fuck this, I don't want to be in this situation.
He did just take out 4 ogres,
Yeah.
Yes.
at least
Thank
temporarily.
goodness. I mean, if we could take them that permanently, that would be good.
So Lehman,
All
we
right.
can reach into Clouds of Slumber now?
What now?
We can reach into Clouds of Slumber now?
This was at the edge. He was at the edge, so I went ahead and allowed that.
Okay.
He would have been trying to get out Cassius, no. I was also just being nice.
Yeah, I'm okay with knife.
Yeah. Well,
I just
whenever
learned that I can also use a dagger now to stab something in a cloud.
Oh, my boys and girls. See you next
I would
week.
say a dagger would be fine. Putting your face into it to bite it, probably not.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
thanks, Lehman.
Yep.